where everybody was registered as organ donors already. And if you didn't want to be on that list, it would be as easy as going to a library, showing your identification, and removing your name off that list. And if anybody didn't really want to be on that list, they would, you know, it would be simple enough to take their names off. As a result of putting this, it's called the opt-out law. As a result of putting this law, and they made it law, Spain has led the world in organ donations for the last 20 years. Last year, I was there too, and I you know, last year they had a 96% success rate. And that means that 96% of the people that were waiting in Spain received these gifts. The families over in Spain aren't in that desperate mode, like wondering whether an organ's going to come, like here in Canada, where, you know, the families are desperate. There, they're not. They're almost guaranteed that an organ's going to be available. And so they did it in 20 other countries as well. So we got 21 countries that are using the opt-out system very successfully. So we, in Canada, sometimes when you come up with a bold idea like that, you're gonna get, well, now the government's gonna own our organs, and you know, like you look at all the negative parts of it. And it's not really the public that does that either. It's the government, who I've been face to face with when I'm talking about this issue. Because most of the people that I talk to are in favor of saving lives. And if this was a way to do it, like if we knew that if we put this law together and we would have the same kind of success, 96%, why wouldn't we do that? You know, if it was as simple as just taking your name off. So in cancer, we're looking for that cure in the laboratories, and you know, we get close, and some things are, but we're still searching. We're still, here we have a cure that's not being implemented. It's like having a cure for HIV in Africa. Those poor people can't get the cure for HIV. We have it here. It's almost the same thing. In Europe, they have the cure. They're using something that works. We're not using it here. So that might not be the best idea, but so far, it's better than where we're at. And so why we wanted to do this with kids and students was because we wanted the students to understand how important this is, so that your generation won't be faced with what this generation is going through right now. Maybe you guys can make the change, you know, and yeah.
How do you get on this list? Like, is there a lot of paperwork, or like where, like how would you get on the organ donor list?
The present one that's in Saskatchewan? Okay, first of all, let me explain. Every province has their own system. Like Saskatchewan's got the Saskatchewan Organ Donor Program. Now there's a health card. How many of you have health cards?
Health card.
Yeah. You can indicate your wish on that health card. But again, as I explained to your teacher, if your family doesn't know that you want to be an organ donor, they're probably not going to make that decision to donate your organs. So that's really the most important step in this whole process, is sharing the wish with your family. And there's a lot of hard things that we have to talk about in life, or you know, a lot of stuff that are uncomfortable. But this is an important thing to really talk to your family about. If you know, and you know, excuse me. I wish there was a way to take all the yuckiness out of something like this, because it's really a cool thing if you think about it. You know, I mean, we're all interconnected anyways. I mean, we can look at this earth as being one big organ, you know, and if there's not enough love and compassion in the world as it is. Like there's wars and there's all kinds of, here's a way that we can show our love to each other. you know. So if you look at that side of being an organ donor, it doesn't seem as yucky, you know, and if we can all do this, just think of how many happiness we can bring to lives.
Along with like donating organs, does donating or giving blood help at all? Or
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, it's like one of the same. You know, people need blood as much as they need organs. Blood is needed in many life-saving situations. So here's a way that each one of us can do our part in our own personal way by becoming a blood donor and an organ and tissue donor. You know, here's our way that we can do our part, you know, and if somehow we can inspire everybody to do that, boy, Earth would be in a better place.
Do you feel like you've accomplished your goal across Canada with this work?
That's a good question, because sometimes I feel like I've been doing this for over 10 years now. And sometimes I feel like we may, you know, we're at the brink of changing, making some vital changes, because I just got off the phone with the federal health minister, and he seemed pretty excited, you know, about, you know, and then I think, you know, maybe you know, we're finally going to get some critical action done, and then only to get disappointed and find out that that they forgot about this issue, you know. So along the way, I don't think, you know, we've had highs and lows, but I think every step that we're taking, there's something to be gained from it, because, you know, we're trying to plant the seeds everywhere we can with schools, with media. Like today we got all kinds of great media coverage, you know, and the city of Saskatoon is going to become aware of what you guys did today, what your school did today, what Erin did today, and so I sometimes look at other people and that did other things, like Martin Luther King, and boy, you know, it's still, I think about it, how can it be that a black person could not vote in the 50s? I still can't wrap my head around that. And why did it take a man like Martin Luther King to bring this to the forefront? And look how long it took him. It took him 12 years of his life to try and make a difference. And then something as simple as understanding that every person should have the right to vote, you know, that's just common decency and logic. You know, why did it take so long? So it could be the same thing here. You know, it could be that it's so frustrating knowing that we could solve this, but you can't, you got to keep plugging away at these things.
When you donate organs, is it all after death? Like once you die, then you get your organs, or are there any situations where you do have to have surgery while you're living?
Good question, because I was going to get into the 2 different ways that we could make donations besides, you know, after death donations. We can donate our organs while we're still alive. We can donate a liver, believe it or not. You can. What they do is they take half of your liver, and the person that needs it receives that half. Now the liver, your half of the liver grows back fully in 2 weeks. The liver is a remarkable organ. It grows back fully in 2 weeks. And the person that received your piece, it grows back fully in 6 weeks. And since these transplants, live transplants have been done, they've had like almost 100% success rates in them. Now you can also donate a kidney. That's been going on for quite a while, and you know Erin, you know Erin's story, right? With her mom and her dad. Her mom donated a kidney to her dad, and you know they were both out there today. And then you can donate a piece of your lung, which has the